when I walk out that door. Got some head in the coupe and let off in the nose. I got some bougie shit holding my chopper. I got some bougie shit doing my chores. I got that bougie shit load on my Glock. I got that bougie shit fold on my clothes. I got that Glock on the seat. Hey, next to that chop on the seat. Hey, coming too close to no tweet.
Which mother trucker put the safety so high up? And the bar starting position was so much lower than me. Some imposter is doing those half squats. Here we go. Week 3, this is workout A you're now seeing, which consists of squat, bench press, Pendlay rows. I'm still at a linear progression, progressing very easily because I'm nowhere near to my 1 rep or 5 rep max. But whilst we're still at these lower weights, I would like to discuss how important practicing good form is, and that's why you start this program with lighter weights. What's funny is, even though this is nowhere near my max, you can still see in my face that it's not that easy, that it's a little tough. And I find that funny with squats. Usually any weight will make you go crazy with these facial expressions. It's really a hard exercise. As you saw, I first warm up with 2 times 5 with just a bar, warming up the joints and getting them ready to perform some harder lifts. Here are some important things that I want to discuss about the squat. First of all, as I've had lower back issues and they're still not fully resolved yet, I can get pretty good indication if my form is good by evaluating if I have any back pain after performing a set. I always focus on having my back straight, and that's basically the thing I think about the most when I'm performing these sets. The second thing that requires your attention would be having a full range of motion. A lot of people squat with half reps, similar to the guy that was before me. Having the safeties that high as a person shorter than me indicates that he's not doing full range of motion, therefore risking an injury because he can't handle the weight obviously. With this program, it's so great that you start with really light weights, and it builds a habit that you must do full range of motion, and by progressing slowly you'll always be focusing on the quality of sets. I'm not a doctor or a physiotherapist, but I can use logic. Obviously, if something hurts, then don't do it. If your knees hurt doing the full range of motion, evaluate why it might happen, search on the Google, see why people have the similar problem. But logically, to me, there are less chances that you're going to get injured doing full range of motion, just because you're also building those small muscles around your knees and strengthening your joints, which is why these barbell exercises are great, because you involve all kinds of small muscles that otherwise wouldn't be included doing the leg extensions, for example.
Do you specifically need the 45 pounds or?
Yeah.
I mean, we can switch.
That's fine.
You have the 55 bar, right?
Sorry?
That's the 55 bar you're using there, right?
Yeah, that's fine. That'll work.
Okay, if it's good for you.
That was a funny, unnecessary interaction because I forgot to take my water bottle and he wanted to take my 45 pounder, which I guess it's okay. My gym has only one 45 pound bar. Every other is basically 55 pounds, which is a little inconvenient because we all are used to calculating our weights using the 45, as well as those bars appear to be a little curved, most likely because some animal was lifting 700 pounds with it. Nevertheless, let's talk about the bench press. This is what we all love to do. I've never really maxed out on bench and could probably do 150, 160 for 5 reps. But we're starting slowly, understandable, because we want to focus on form. My preparation is keep the legs close, make the arch, but not overdo it. I was overdoing it in the past and noticed that there are not any benefits and you just put some unnecessary stress on your lower back. So once I make the arch, retract my shoulders, I put my legs wide and use them as pushing power. You can try this setup for bench press and you'll see how important getting the good form for it is. There won't be any shoulder pain, neither back or elbow pain. At the bottom of your rep, you want to push with your legs to get that extra power, which is why we're doing this program. We don't want to maximally isolate the chest here, but to have the largest amount of power doing this movement, to be able to push the biggest amount of weight. As you can see, medium arch, stable in the legs, somewhat slowly controlling the eccentric and going quickly on the way up. Another point on the side, which is mainly discussed when it comes to squats and deadlifts, is that you should lift in shoes that have a hard sole, because you don't want to be sliding left and right with these foamy soles and potentially get some injury. So these are still lightweights and I don't need them yet, but I'm in the process of looking for which ones to buy, because I don't want to be a basic lifter and wear those Converse boring ass shoes that everybody wears, and that's not even the main point. I don't even like how they look. So I'll be seeing some Vans or some Asics tennis shoes, but definitely not running shoes. Pendlay rows, I'd say the most complicated exercise out of all of these you'll see on this program. Why I chose these raise over regular bent over rows is because it allows you for more weight to stack up based on the fact that you're not holding the weight all the time with your lower back. So having the history with lower back pain, I didn't want to create some more problems by having that unnecessary stress. Every time you go to the floor, you have a chance to reset, completely straighten your back, retract your scapula a little bit, allowing you to pull in a healthy way. First time I've done this, I had some front shoulder pain, and that's probably because I wasn't retracting my scapula at all. I was looking up the form on YouTube and managed to get it right the next time. Also, what I haven't talked about a lot is the rest time between sets. The main program will basically tell you, if you completed the set with ease, then rest for 90 seconds. And you could rest for more, but it's not really necessary just because you can save time by resting less and you'll still be able to complete all the sets for 5 reps. However, if it was a little tough, then you're going to rest for 3 minutes, allowing yourself more time for your strength to completely come back. And if you fail to do 5 reps, which will only happen, I guess, at the later stages of this program, then you'll rest for 5 minutes and go for the same weight again. I'm not gonna talk about now what will happen if you fail so many times. That's when you're going to do a slight deload. But the reason I'm talking about the rest times here is this is the first time I had to rest 3 minutes, and it happened specifically on Pendlay rows. I'd say the reason that is, I started with the highest weight possible without ever doing the exercise, because you need to pick up the weight off the floor, meaning you cannot do it with 10-pound weights. It needs to be at least 25, 35, and they even recommend starting with 45s. The bigger weights you use, the less you'll need to get down to pick up the weight from the floor and make it easier for your hamstrings to accept that stretch. So no problems there 5 times every single time. It's just that the weight was becoming a little tough to perform with good technique after resting for a minute and a half.
Rest up me! Rest up me!
Really good topic is, should you play games on self-improvement? And this question is weird because people talk about video games as if they're the devil himself, and I want to give my take on it. But after all, you should never listen to some random guy tell you that you shouldn't play video games and not really account for your specific situation. My thought process when it comes to this topic: the 2 biggest problems I have with video games are involving yourself too much into a video game, that it becomes a grind. It becomes something that you need to do consistently in order to achieve success there. But what's the point of success in a virtual video game if you're not monetizing it? Being a professional player, a streamer, this is, I'd say, the biggest reason why people don't support playing video games, because it is basically a life on its own. You have to put in so many hours to become good at it, and it just fools your brain that you're doing something productive, because they're basically wired to work in regards to a male brain. We have a natural desire to grind, to put in a significant amount of hours in order to become good at something we chase. So as long as you don't take these video games seriously and just use them as a tool to relax, to get into flow state, I don't see how it is at all different from, let's say, watching a movie, listening to music. If you can be productive and working all the time, then for sure do it. But I think most of us are not capable of doing that, otherwise we would already be billionaires and CEOs. So as long as you focus on the important work, I'd say there's nothing bad about enjoying yourself a little bit without engaging too much into the imaginary goals of the game you're playing.
Frate, da li ništa nije reloadovano, majku?